Supporters of the Labour Party's 2023 presidential candidate, Peter Obi, have expressed concerns over what they describe as a coordinated campaign of misinformation aimed at damaging his reputation and political standing. The group, operating under the banner of the Obidient Movement, claims that paid agents and propagandists are circulating recycled falsehood to mislead the public, with political tensions expected to intensify. In the run-up of the 2027 elections, the movement has called for truth to prevail over propaganda in Nigeria's public discourse. Well, joining me to discuss this is Nana Kazaure. She's the Director, Strategic Communication and Media for the Obidient Movement. It's great to have you again, Nana Kazaure.
Good evening, viewers. Good to see you again, Dapo. It's been a while. I've been ill, but I'm recovering and getting better.
All right, it's great to have you, and of course we appreciate the time. But I mean, let's get straight to it. Let's start with some, what I call it, remarks by some political figures in the country, which of course tilt in the direction of Mr. Peter Obi. Let's look at Nasir El-Rufai, who in recent interviews has sort of, expressed skepticism as regards the feasibility of a single term presidency, which Peter Obi did say, or did put forward and say, look, if I'm given the opportunity, I'll run for a term. For him, he feels that that is not enough. It lacks credibility. It's not from a place of sincerity. And there's not even enough time for any meaningful achievement when it comes to policies or even, infrastructural framework. Wike seems to follow that line too. So what's your reaction?
It's simple and it's very clear. With regards to the FCT minister, I'm not aware that he has a glass ball or that he has become a soothsayer. To an extent, I will understand what Mallam Nasir El-Rufai is saying in terms of that Nigerians have a major distrust for government. That doesn't have anything to do with His Excellency, Mr. Peter Obi. He's never been president of Nigeria. There's a survey that came out, I think 2 days ago. Well, I saw it 2 days ago, I think on Sahara Reporters and Business Daily, where Chatham House carried out a survey and they said Nigerians distrust most the presidency and the police. And in my opinion, I would also like to add, even the judiciary. So that's a slight on previous governments and the lackluster leadership that unfortunately Nigerians have had to endure for over these many years, So when they say that a one term, Mr. Peter Obi is more interested in his integrity. He has a family and he's built a name and a reputation for himself. If he says he's going to do a thing, he will do it. And if I even do know that there was a time he was also proposing a single-term 5-year, rotational presidency, which also makes sense. It's in line. If Nigerians will tell you, when you sit and you're having conversations, they will tell you that if someone could come and plunge us in the last 2 years into I think the record is about 70 million Nigerians have been plunged into into multi-dimensional poverty, adding to what existed before. That's huge. All right. So if Mr. Peter Obi says in 4 years, in a single term, and he's also a respecter of agreements. Yes, it's not in our constitution, agreed, but it is something that we sometimes, unwritten, unspoken agreements are even stronger than something that you have cast in black and white. So the rotational presidency of 8 years, which Nigerians, in our politics has agreed to, is something that he's not going to want to flout. And he says he will do. He's somebody who is economically astute. And that's something that Nigerians need. We always talk about his frugality. That's something Nigerians need. As for the FCT minister, it will be good for him to, I love the way Dr. Abati put it. he put it in an interview. He said that the media is the one that has been pandering to his whims and caprices. I don't speak for the PDP, but I will say that I doubt that one individual should be stronger than an entity like the PDP. And so when he speaks and says, oh, he shouldn't come back and blah, 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 I don't think it's in his place to be the one to make those decisions singularly and speak solely for the party. He should focus on the FCT and the good that he can bring for the FCT. And, you know, those media chats are quite interesting. And since he has chosen to be interactive, then why not speak to the people of the FCT rather than jumping into political discourse and, you know, it will be better for him to concentrate.
Nana, you said quite a couple of things. I mean, the crux of this interview is to sort of put in perspective some of maybe what you might consider propaganda and misinformation around the person of Mr. Peter Obi and sort of set the record straight. So I've been making quite a couple of reference to things that have been said by certain individuals in that line. I'm still staying with you on the FCT minister. He said, I mean, you mentioned the PDP, and I mean, we've even had on this program where it's been speculated by some members that there are moves to sort of lure the person of Peter Obi back to the People's Democratic Party. The FCT minister has actually warned that this could destroy the party. I mean, quickly, I'd like you to speak on that. Is he moving to the PDP?
It's not something that we should belabor. For example, I will always say it, it's not the person of His Excellency Peter Obi. It's the person of my mother. My mother would always say, you are what you think of other people. It's something we say in my family a lot. This was the same person who said to us, oh, he would rather have I'm APC. This is the same person that told us that he didn't want to be minister. And you are a journalist. I'm sure you can pull up these clips. It's online, it's on Twitter, it's on Facebook, it's online, it's on YouTube, where he kept disparaging and saying he would never work with this administration. And what do we have today? He's working with this administration. So it's not the person it's the person who's speaking that should be under scrutiny. If he feels the way he does about the things that he has said in the past, there was a time he even said that the winner of the 2023 elections was Mr. Peter Obi. So, you know, I find it difficult to be able to keep up with the way he changes his mind and all of that. And I'm not here to speak about
when
him.
he said, how about when he alleged that doctors were on strike for 13 months and hospitals were shut?
Yeah, I don't have the full details about that particular incident, but he did explain why. I think it had to do with, I honestly do not have the answer for that. Oh, I'm not happy about this.
Okay, but I'm sure definitely we would revisit that. But let's move quickly to talk about, I mean, right now the ADC is the latest kid on the block. And there are permutations ahead of 2027. One of the big questions people are asking is, will Mr. Peter Obi remain within the Labour Party, which seems or perceivedly is experiencing some sort of internal, I call it crisis right now. So I want to put it to you directly. Has he made up his mind on which party he would finally pitch his tent?
Then we have ample time to be able to see where Mr. Peter Obi is headed. He's still a member of the Labour Party. He has not come out. He has always said it very clearly. When he makes up his mind or makes a decision, we will hear directly from him. We won't be hearing it from a proxy. We won't be hearing it from spokespersons. When you hear spokespersons talking about it, that means he's made an announcement. So we have to wait for him to take that decision. It's a good thing. You know, I would naturally say it's a fantastic thing that people are calling him to the table. This was the same person that, you know, at some time in 2002, when he walked away from the same PDP, it would seem as if he wasn't worth his weight in gold or in anything at all. But when we went to the polls, people got to see, oh, hang on a minute. he has something here. He has a good following, and the Obidient Movement right behind him, as well as other well-meaning Nigerians who may not call themselves obedience that voted for him. So I think he's going to make the right decision at the right time. He's in talks with the coalition, which is his fundamental human right. And if possible, that we are able to resolve, there's no party, I'd like to add, that doesn't have any inner ramblings. I've said it before, that a lot of the time, the party system, we're like a family, so it's not anything that we should want to hold on to too tightly. The rancor and everything, the APC has issues, the PDP has its issues, the ADC, every day we see information coming out, and as well as the Labour Party. And I'm sure that whichever party His Excellency Peter Obi decides to follow, the Obidient Movement will be there to support him. That's very important as well.
All right, Nana Kazaure, thank you so much. We'll go on a quick break. When we return, we'll play an excerpt of a reaction by the spokesperson, of the All Progressives Congress, Felix Morka, was on the program yesterday. He had a few things to say about Mr. Peter Obi. Would also make reference to some statements by DG Adeyanju. Do stay with us. We'll be right back. Many thanks for staying with us. It's still Politics HQ on News Central Television, and I still have my guest with me, Nana Kazaure. She is, of course, joining me virtually. Thank you for staying with me. Now, Nana, before I ask you, my next question, let's take a listen to an excerpt from an interview we had yesterday on this program with the spokesperson for the APC, Felix Morka. He had a few things to say as regards a recent tweet by Mr. Peter Obi. Take a listen.
Mr. Peter Obi, who I think has distinguished himself as in Nigeria's political prophet of doom. These are the things, he goes out to rake up things from wherever he finds them to advance his doomsday, arguments about our country. Nigeria is still the, Africa's most populous country. Clearly, our population growth rate surpasses any other African country. So if Peter Obi's, again, he's the master of fake statistics. If his numbers are true, then already the next information he should be giving us is that we are beginning to slide in population growth. But I don't think that that's the position of anybody in this country or any responsible international agency. Peter Obi will say what Peter Obi will say, but more serious things, good news. Just recently, we saw a remarkable rise in our foreign reserve. Peter Obi will not discuss that. Our oil export today is approaching 1,900,000 barrels per day. Peter Obi will not tweet that. He goes in search of information, manipulates information in order to score his point. Look, this is not patriotism. This is not what opposition politics ought to be. This level of, I think, almost mercenary political engagement is not serving us. Look, just recently, Simon Ekpa, the self-declared leader of, Biafra or IPOB in the diaspora, was convicted, in Finland recently. I just was reading a statement by some non-governmental organizations where they were describing Peter Obi's silence as, being the loudest ever on that point. He will not discuss matters like that, but, it's just to go around looking for, marginal, irrelevant information to tweet so that, again, he can, make his point.
All right, and of course, there you have it. Felix Morka there reacting to a tweet and some issues he feels that Peter Obi hasn't addressed. So I'm coming back to you, Nana, just to put into perspective some of the things that Felix has said. He said that he used the word prophet of doom, master of false statistics, and he also sort of inferred that Peter Obi seems to be selective when reacting to issues. When there seems to be some sort of positive news, he seems to sideline it and just pick on issues that seem to advance a certain agenda. And he also said he's been silent on Simon Ekpa. What's your reaction?
My reaction is very simple. My stomach churned when I was listening to Mr. Felix Morka. You know, it's quite, I don't expect him to say anything different. It is Morka's job to say that the government, you know, it's his job to highlight what it is the government is doing right and let Nigerians decide if they feel that that's the way that they want their country to go. It's his job and he's doing that. His Excellency Peter Obi and members of the opposition, it's our job to say to you, no, you're dropping the ball here. When Mr. Peter Obi says Nigeria, the maternal, the death rate, Nigeria is the highest in the world. It's true. My family, we are victims of losing our sister to the cold hands of death during childbirth. And I'm sure I'm speaking for many other Nigerian families as well. So it's not as though he just picked up statistics. World Health Organization have said as much. When Mr. Peter Obi reels out his statistics, he always says, go and verify. These are verifiable facts. If the APC and Mr. Morka want to be comatose and they want to sleep on these matters, and that's their problem, not ours. We will keep to speak. And you know, one thing I'll always say is that I dare say that the APC fear Mr. Peter Obi because he's a better politician than any one of them. He's stronger than any one of them. And I dare say that he's growing in popularity, so they fear him. And even in those same circles that feel that they are opposed to him, I dare say that they also respect him. When he comes up with the statistics and the stories, you cannot take it away that he's speaking the truth. I don't know why, you know, the APC always wants to brandish it as a misinformation to the Nigerian people. No, when you're on the streets, you're a journalist, Dapo. These are things that are verifiable. And I don't understand why, Mr. Like I said, I guess he has a job to do.
Let's move to another person who also seems to have some sort of hard knocks for Mr. Peter Obi. And that's the human rights activist and lawyer, Datti Baba-Ahmed, who claims that at some point, Mr. Peter Obi attempted to bribe him with money during a private meeting before the 2023 election. And he also took a swipe. Okay, would you like to react to that first, or do I continue?
Yes, please, let me quickly just, because I don't want us to dwell too much on that.
Okay.
Number one, Datti Baba-Ahmed, the activist, always seen him as somebody who's brilliant, who's forthright, but it's laughable. He's the one that was looking for a position to run for House of Representatives. Who's more likely to have wanted to give somebody money? And I know that none of that happened. I'm just creating a scenario. And it's, when we heard it, we burst out laughing because Mr. Peter Obi is one of the most unlikely people to be doing thank you for coming. It's not his style, it's not his way. If you have a business, if you have a charitable thing you want to do, for example, maybe education, you know some schools that don't have computers, he's happy to purchase those computers and have them delivered to the school, or he would deliver them himself. If there are hospitals that need solar or boreholes, to help augment what water board can't do, what the electrical, the Ministry of Power can't do, he's somebody who will say, okay, you know what, I'm happy to be of assistance here. If school projects come to his table, those are the things he jumps at. So I find it quite preposterous. I'm quite curious. Aisha Yusufu did say it. I'm very curious to see what he has against Mr. We are all curious. We want to see, because we wouldn't be supporting somebody that we consider to be the names that he called Mr. Peter Obi. I find his story quite unlikely. The matter has been taken to court. Just because Mr. Peter Obi is a public person doesn't give anybody the right to want to defame him, his character, and his brand that he's building. And if he feels strongly enough that somebody like Mr. Barrister Adegboye should be taken to court. He's taken the right step, and we support him for that. You shouldn't just drag people's names. Where your rights is where another person's rights begin.
All right. I'm still staying with him because he went further to call him a political prostitute. And he also described supporters, who are known as Obedience, as toxic and intolerant. You are the Director of Strategic Communications and Media for Obidient. I mean, how do you react to that? Are you toxic? Are you intolerant?
The Obidient Movement, we've taken a lot of backlash from people, and we keep waxing stronger because the truth is out there for everybody to see. No, the Obidient Movement is not toxic. No, the Obidient Movement is not a group of, we've been called fascists. At the end of the day, the people who called us such have a history. I said it before, you are what you think of other people. What the Obidient Movement stands for is truth. What the Obidient Movement stands for is they don't want their mouths to be muzzled. They do not want a situation where their country is falling apart right in front of their eyes and they cannot be a part and parcel of those who want to fix it. The Obidient Movement are people who are patriotic. One thing about the Obedience is that they will speak their minds, they will speak the truth to power. I've come to realize that a lot of people in Nigeria of a certain age particularly do not like to be questioned. And the Obidient Movement will ask those difficult questions. Obidient Movement will take it upon themselves to go and investigate. This road that is being built, this road that is being commissioned, how many kilometers? They're going to use social media to do their investigations and to bring the information to the fore. And what the government should do if they were serious is that they would collaborate with these young, bright minds who speak truth to power, who want things to be done properly. They don't want people to be killed and maimed and then nothing is done about it. You heard what Mallam Nasir El-Rufai, you even alluded to that during this interview. Those are very strong allegations against the government. These are things that should be investigated. Nigerians don't feel safe traveling by road, by rail, and those are things that they keep bringing to the fore. Why are we the enemy when we're telling you that we would prefer this? I thought the government is to serve. I do also understand that I don't think Nigerians are hard enough with government because somehow we have this misplaced thinking that democracy is for a certain group of elites or the big man. I'm here using this platform, using my voice to let Nigerians know that democracy is for you. Be you a vulcanizer, be you a teacher, be you a professor, be you a house help, be you a journalist, a public speaker. This democracy is ours. They're not going to run us out of our own country. We outnumber them. What we need to do is to ensure, for example, you cannot say that Obedience are toxic. Go on many Obedient platforms. They're talking about voter registrations. One thing you will never take away from the Obedience
so that we can quickly react to this. Okay. I want you to finish your point.
From the Obedient Movement and the people who make the Obedient Movement, you can never take it away from them that they are people who support the government by making sure that they mirror all the wrong things that are being done in government. It should be taken in good faith. The government should show leadership by listening to them, understanding where they come from, and they should stop trying to listen to one narrative that massages their egos. The Obedient Movement won't do that. We've even said it. If His Excellency Peter Obi was the person sitting in that seat, trust and believe he would be the one that we scrutinize the most.
So you are
whatever it is that people say about it's totally wrong.
That should Peter Obi be president, the Obedient Movement would not relax. Instead, should he do the wrong things, they'll be the loudest in the room criticizing him. Is that what you're saying?
Exactly. We would be the loudest in the room. We've always said it, that he's running for that office through us. You know, it's not just about him and him alone and how he feels. We respect how he feels. We do want him to do well, but then he's a representative of that new and possible Nigeria. And that's what the Obidient Movement stands for. They will not be muzzled. They will not be stifled. I've always asked this question, and I got that from Mr. Falana, Senior Advocate of Nigeria. How many guns do they have if Nigerians choose to come out? How many canisters of tear gas can they use to tear gas us? It's getting to a point where the government does need to sit up, and I think it's time that they begin to listen to what young people are saying to them. Right. It's time that they begin to listen and take seriously. Especially the Obidient Movement. We are not their enemies. We are part and parcel of this country, and we are government.
Okay, we would go on this quick break. When we return, I would ask you a very direct question that seems to be in the mind of many Nigerians as regards the Obidient Movement. Stay with us, we'll be right back. I still have Nana Kazaure. She's the Director, Strategic Communication and Media for the Obidient Movement. Thank you for staying with me. Nana, I told you that I'd ask you something on the minds of quite a number of Nigerians, you know, as regards the Obidient Movement. I mean, this is a movement that seems really passionate, you know, according to you, about development, national progress, governance, and all. And of course, it revolves around the central figure, and that is the person of Peter Obi. The question on the lips of many is, why not evolve from being just a movement to a political party?
In my opinion, then I think it would just box us, and that's what people would want. That's what our traducers might want. The Obidient Movement, while we have created some structure around the Obidient Movement, I'm proud to say that the Obidient Movement is quite amorphous. And that the beauty about her being, well, I say her, the Obidient Movement being amorphous is that means there are obedience in APC strongholds, in PDP strongholds, in even amongst the 20 million Nigerians who have crossed over to the age of 18 and are eligible to vote. So, no, I'm particularly proud that we are the way we are, and we can spread our tentacles. We're like water. We don't get enemy. And even when you try to block us, water always finds a way. We will always find a way, because we do want a better country for us and our children.
It's understandable that it's an ideology. It transcends, you know, beyond, what I call it, even the person which it revolves around. But again, for it to have some sort of physical representation, you know, and presence within the context of the law, being able to say, you know what, this is where we stand, this is who we are, and not being at maybe the mercy of a political party, right? I still put the question, why is it not looking in that direction of being a political party, at least being recognized, you know, by law?
Well, you can't say that. We've looked at all these possibilities. Yes, we have. But then, like I said, I think it's better this way. We are organized to a huge, you know, level. I think we've done so amazing. We have directorates within the structure that has been created. We have mobilization, we have finance, we have media, we have our publicity, we have our political engagement. There are about 9 directorates. And within those directorates, even in the mobilization, we already have people that we call coordinators. We have state coordinators. We have assistants. Just because I say we are amorphous doesn't mean that we're not organized. I think when we get to certain bridges, we will cross it because we are a listening group. We are evolving, and we are allowed to evolve. When we get to the bridge where we want to probably, you know, fine-tune what we're already doing. And I'm not at liberty to divulge certain information. But then I do know that this works for us and we're taking our baby steps. But the thing is, we know exactly what the goal is, and we will not deviate from that. The goal is to ensure that we have good governance. The goal is to ensure that Nigerians have better educational systems, better infrastructure, better roads, that Nigeria as a country is taken seriously.
All right.
Recently, about 3-4 weeks ago, before I took ill, I gave a talk on an African platform, international platform. And what I was talking about was, I was now speaking to Nigerians all across the world. We should know our history. It's important because those are the things that help us with our patriotism. So I think the Obidient Movement is moving in the right direction. I think that the Obidient Movement is you see, everybody, I wonder why we're the only ones people talk about. You don't talk about what has no substance. You don't talk about, there's the MI song, MI and Two-Face. If nobody talks about you, then you are nobody. Do you understand?
Yes, I do. So for now, there are no plans to evolve into a political party yet, just to get that out of the way.
I didn't hear you, I'm sorry.
I said for now, there are no plans to evolve. That's the Obidient Movement. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay, so just to get that out of the way, for now, there are no plans for the Obidient Movement evolving into a political party. Is that what you're saying? Just quickly. For now, no plans.
Political parties, as far as I'm concerned, have already been registered by INEC, so that ship has sailed.
Okay, all right, thank you. Now, let's talk about the current administration of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and some of the, well, I call it achievements it has recorded to have had, you know, since assumption.
That's not my job. I'm sorry, Dapo.
No,
Dapo.
I want your reaction. I want your reaction to some of these achievements. I'm not saying you should. Definitely, I know you would not allude to it, but I
then
want
you should get members.
I would like you. Yesterday,
then you should get the people.
Yesterday.
No.
Yesterday,
sorry.
Nana Kazaure.
I'm not going to let you box me.
Nana Kazaure.
I'm not going to let you box me into that. I'm sorry.
No,
I'm putting my foot down.
You. I just want your reaction to it.
On air.
So, because yesterday...
It's not something I'm going to discuss.
Yesterday, we had the spokesperson for the APC speak on some of these issues. And we feel as, you know, on the side of the opposition, let's hear some, you know, your reaction on some of these issues. For instance, they seem to allude that the economy is doing well and it's picking up. And there's also assertion that our, in terms of education, there's the students' loan. In terms of agriculture, there's progress there. And in terms of FDI, bringing in foreign investors, Nigeria seems to be doing well in that direction. Even yesterday, the spokesperson for the APC did say our health sector is improving. So I just want to know, I mean, what's your reaction as a Nigerian? Are you feeling the renewed hope?
Well, maybe I should throw that question right back at you. Are you feeling the renewed hope? Nigerians are dreading getting into the new year because of the new tax reforms. No, I doubt that Nigerians are feeling the impact in a positive way. Go to the markets. They keep saying, oh, for 3 months, the prices of things have, the cost of things in the market have reduced. It's not, it hasn't come down. These are just basic. Ask the security at your office if they feel better. Right now, the tax reform, if I'm not mistaken, if you earn up to 800,000 naira per annum, correct me if I'm wrong, about 20% will be taken. I did a rough estimation at some point, and I was thinking in my head, that's about 160,000 naira. And if you're earning 800,000 naira, that's about 66.66. It's not up to 67,000 naira, nor is it up to the minimum wage, but you're going to be taxed. And out of that, will the person still be able to pay for pension? Will there, and it would be good for you to tax Nigerians and still let Nigerians know, okay, this taxation is going towards healthcare. This taxation is going towards infrastructure. This taxation is going towards education, and this is how much it's going to cost to the last decimal. Even the average Nigerian should be able to say, okay, this is why this is coming out of my pocket. Nigerians can't say so. We do not have, I'm not aware that we have federal medical centers all over Nigeria and in local government areas. I am not aware that we have certain level of primary education has picked up. Have you been to the north? Have you seen the destitution happening up north? The insecurity happening up north? Senator Datti Baba-Ahmed, I think yesterday or day before yesterday, he alluded to the fact that his family recently had to pay I think a ransom, correct me if I'm wrong, for a relative of theirs to come back. He was on a sister channel. So, and he made mention that it's getting closer to Abuja. I don't understand how I think they are very much out of touch with the plight of the average Nigerian, because for them to keep saying you don't expect them to say that they're not doing well. Well, Mr. Daniel Boala today was even able to admit that they made an error, which I would applaud him for. But this government is not doing well by the average Nigerian. I'm sorry. Things still cost an arm and a leg. People can't feed, people can't go to hospital, drugs cost, medication costs so much.
All right.
People can't even get to work so that they can even earn their keep. People, I don't think we've done well in terms of security. Insecurity is on the rise in this country. So these are things, and when I say that they are far removed from the realities of Nigerians, as in people I've heard people say, I'm dreading 2026. That's the gift the government has given them pre the New Year celebration. So can we please be real? And can they please come down to the grassroots and truly ask if Nigerians are feeling any positive impact? Your president said there's no corruption in Nigeria anymore. Is that a statement of fact? And that poverty has been eradicated in Nigeria, is that a statement of fact?
All right, Nana.
No, it's not.
Thank you so much. We'll go on a quick break. When we return, I'll be taking your final remarks. Do stay with us. We'll be right back. Many thanks for staying with us. I still have my guest with me, Nana Kazaure. She's the Director, Strategic Communication and Media for the Obidient Movement. Thank you for staying with me. All right, before I let you go, just quickly, what will be your message to Nigerians and particularly the Obedients who are watching right now?
My dear fellow Obedients, we keep the flag flying. We remain nationalistic. Do not let anybody stifle your voices. Do not be afraid to keep speaking. You must be doing something right, and that's why you rile them. You must be doing something right because you lend your voices. Thank you for all the investigative journalism. A lot of the time, breaking news comes out from what young people have been able to investigate. I dare say that you don't have to even be a supporter of Mr. Peter Obi per se to be an obedient. You just have to be a lover of Nigeria. You just have to be somebody who wants things done properly. You want to be proud of your green passport. You want to be proud of your nationality. You want to be proud of your history. Nigeria has fed Africa. Many African countries. Nigerians have gone using military might to support and help other African countries gain independence. The apartheid in South Africa, Nigerians played such a significant role. We want a situation where people in diaspora can proudly come back home and, whatever they have learned, the expertise that they have, just like in India, come back and we have a safer country to live in. I think the Obidient movements are brave, Obidient members are extremely brave young people, vocal, and one day they will be the ones in the seats of power. One day they will be the ones in leadership. And so it's good that they're beginning to hone in their skills. It's good that they're beginning to be politically fair and politically astute. And it's a good thing that many young people who are part and parcel of the Obidient movement are people who earn legitimate incomes. And so that's another thing that makes us proudly obedient. And so I'm grateful to be part of the whole body of Nigerians called the Obidient Movement. That's all I'd like to say for now.
All right, Nana Kazaure, thank you so much for your time on the program. It's been a pleasure having you speak with us, and we wish you speedy recovery as regards your health. Once again, thank you for your time.
Thank you, Dapo.
All right.
Hello?
All right. That, of course, was Nana Kazaure, the Director, Strategic Communication and Media for the Obidient Movement. Well, before we wrap it up tonight, it's important we also emphasize that when it comes to nation building and governance, it's not the responsibility of one person. It's a collective. You and I have a role to play. We are stakeholders in the country. They will tell you that the leadership of a country is as good as its people. We determine at the end of the day who eventually leads us. So do not tell yourself you are insignificant. You are actually very significant, and you play a pivotal role. So it's important that ahead of 2027, you position yourself, you intentionally place yourself to say, you know what, I want to be part of the process. It's everyone's responsibility, because at the end of the day, the blowback comes back to us. Well, this is where we will be dropping the curtains on today's episode. In case you missed out, you can actually catch up on our YouTube platform. That's at News Central TV. You can also choose to follow us across social media. The handle is there on your screen. You can choose to follow me personally at Dapo Adegboye. Until I come your way tomorrow, good night.